Hi guys, welcome to Darren's Computing Corner, and today I'm going to be teaming off a trio of laptops. I've got one for each system, so we're going to be looking at Windows, macOS and ChromeOS. And this is where ChromeOS also gets to make its debut. So I've got three laptops on the side next to me on the sofa. Got a Samsung, this is my Windows laptop. Some of my shows require this. And then we have, that's a 2024 Samsung laptop which runs Windows 11. I've got a 2022 MacBook Pro. And then I've also got a 2019 Chromebook. Now, it's only just recently that I've discovered that you're able to have a built-in screen recorder with this thing, and with a couple of buttons, and honestly I was going to try and get an external one. But we'll start with the one that I use the most, which is macOS. And then we'll go to Windows. And then we'll finish off with the Chromebook. And then I'll put it all together. And then you get a good video to compare it all. So join me back in a bit, guys, as I set the first of the three systems up. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now on my MacBook Pro, and I just want to go over a few things just while I'm just working on that, and then just test a few programs. The one thing that I have noticed while this is running macOS Tahoe, is that the full screen that you had when you brought up all your apps, that's now been replaced by Spotlight. So by the looks of things, Spotlight has taken the full focus. I think it works out that way in the sense that you can still see what's going on, and you'll be able to see what apps you've got, and also what you've got in the background as well, because it also allows you to see other bits as well. So I've got my video ideas and my travel video ideas in two separate lists, and then I've got other bits as well, so at least I can still see my widgets by doing that. But with that being said, I'm now going to open up Microsoft Word. And then I'm just going to open a blank document. That's what this looks like. Unfortunately, I can't do the camera bit at the same time unless I tweak about with a few bits. But for now, we'll just stick with what we've got. This is how I do my document side of things. Yeah. But at the moment, I'm handwriting stuff. Let's see how this pairs out. I've got it in dark mode as well. makes it much easier for me to access my notes when I handwrite them. I like the fact that we're just going through that notion of just I like doing this sort of stuff. Not going to save it. I just, in this case, I'm going to also, I've also noticed that's disappearing every time I'm bringing up my apps. Let's go into PowerPoint for the moment. Because this is where I do my graphics for the weakest link. And I've got my maths corner bits as well. I've also noted that I've now got lines on my outlines on my font. So I'm going to have bits of that. Let me see if I can get rid of the... oh, that's the outline. Yeah. I have to have another look back at my weakest link animation later on. That's what I'm working on at the moment. So I'm remastering the first episode. At this point, as we speak, I'm remastering the first episode that I did back in 2011. And then we'll take a look at some other programs as well. Let's play a quick game. Use that account. I do want to see if I can put that into full screen. Have a look at this though. Hackintosh, where you have Windows and Mac all in one. This is interesting. So that's all you've got. That's good to know. Let's grab that. Where are you going? Ah! So you're using a product key. Because I wanted to caress you, that's why. But yeah, my bits are going all over the place. I've got data protection on here. Until that happened. Right, let's try again. Forgot how hard this error was. I forgot how hard this is. Right, let's try again. No. So I've got 30% corrupted data. And I'm just, you know what? Caress you while you're going to sleep. I think I ought to have shut that down. shut down. With that being said, so join me back in a bit as I then take you through the next part of the next system to analyse in this. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me now on my Samsung Book 4 Pro. And with that being said, we can now look at the Windows side of things. Just to give you a bit of a taste as to what it's like compared to macOS Tahoe. So let's start with Word. Sort of how I'm going to end up documenting stuff on Darren's Corner. Although I think at this point, if I don't handwrite my stuff, I'm going to end up... if I don't end up handwriting my stuff, I'm going to end up writing it on board. But it's got Copilot as well. It's also interesting because it's automatically saved. It automatically saves now. So now if I go into my documents, there'll be somewhere there'd be somewhere or other. Let's have a look. Let's go back into Word. Yeah, I see it. Then of course, if I come out of it, it should disappear. Hopefully. Because there's not much point in me keeping an empty file. But let's go back into it. I have to remind myself to delete it afterwards. I'm using Aptos. And then I'll just grab my stylus pen and do the following. If I, well, just... handy thing to have, a stylus, so you can handwrite your notes. That's what it looks like. I'm not going to save it. I do want to go back to that. And then we'll go somewhere else. I've got a few more things I can access on here. But I do want to have a look at something. I'm just going to test something else out as well. A nice conversation with Copilot. Something I could have done on my MacBook Pro, but chose not to in the end. But we'll see what happens.
Hello, Darren.
I'm just in the middle of making a video comparing 3 of the biggest companies' systems.
Sounds like you're knee-deep in some serious tech talk, eh? All right, spill the beans. Which companies are you comparing, and what's the main angle you're taking with this video?
So I'm looking at macOS, Windows, and ChromeOS, and I'm just looking at how different aspects work on each of the different systems. I'm working on the Windows one at the moment. I've done macOS, and then I'm going to be looking at ChromeOS afterwards.
Nice. So you're tackling all the big hitters then. It sounds like you've got a solid system going. macOS down, now you're in the Windows world, and then ChromeOS is next on the list. So what's been the trickiest difference you've noticed so far between them?
But with Windows at the moment, I'm setting up, just analysing different programs, but I've noticed that my OneDrive is now saving blank documents.
The classic, I didn't ask for blank documents, but here they are situation. Sounds like OneDrive's got a bit of a mind of its own. As always, fun to troubleshoot. So what's the game plan here? Are you trying to get those programs to think up properly, or is this turning into a bit of a detective mission?
I think I'm going to turn it into a detective mission by the looks of things.
Well, detective hats on then. Sometimes you got to play a little Sherlock Holmes with these things, especially when your cloud storage starts acting all mysterious. So what's your first clue or first step in the investigation?
One moment I'm playing Puzzler World in macOS and now it's suddenly not working. Oh dear. And then I'm looking at different aspects on here, and apart from OneDrive now saving blank documents, I can't think of anything else at the moment.
Sounds like you're juggling quite the tech juggling hanks right now. Windows and macOS playing tag, and OneDrive just adding a little extra mystery to the puzzle. Well, we can totally unravel it step by step. Let's start with your OneDrive mystery. Have you checked if it's a settings issue or maybe a sync glitch?
I haven't thought about that at the moment, but I will look at that in video.
Absolutely. No rush at all. We can totally park the OneDrive detective work for now and circle back to it whenever you're ready. In the meantime, if there's anything else, tech or non-tech on your mind, just throw it out there.
You know what? I do love having conversations with Copilot. It's just amazing as to what you can get done. I mean, I speak to Copilot sometimes just to get some ideas as to what I do videos wise. But other than that, I just use those ideas and then turn them into my own words. So let's play a quick game on here, if I can get one to work. Let's do a bit of castle clicker because I've got something in event at the moment which is allowing me to do it with castle clicker. I've got mafia clicker. It's the only time you get to see me play Mafia Clicker is on here. Not going to reset the game. But 17 of, I think that's all of them then. They're not. I think what I'm going to have to do when the next event comes round, is I'm just going to have to so then the pubs don't run out. So have that. I wonder what my... Okay, so I've just popped that to the side so then you get to see what's going on. Obviously I'm going to need 400 million before I can even tackle those 8, but I do have ideas as to turn that into another national park. This is really rather interesting what I'm looking at so far. Let's have a look at this a moment. 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would be too close. Because every building suffers all similar buildings suffer from penalties if they're placed too close to each other. And I'll do that so that there's less to worry about. There we go. Can't really do anything with that at the moment, but we could certainly give it a try. And I've got one more I can hire, but I just want to, I've just got to keep it going. Should be safe if I place a level 4 down there. Level 4 park. And then we'll just upgrade those to level 2. Now the trick behind that's going to go down. The trick behind that is to make sure that you don't overlap them, so that if you want to upgrade them further, you then be able to do that. So I did a crisscross on the level 2s. But I do need some more added to my total heat. This is what we're looking at the moment. In order to get to level 7, you need at least 100. You need to be producing at least 100,000 per second. The only way I'm going to do that is if I unlock the loans. Unlock the payday loans. But of course then I need to add something else for that's what I thought. 1, 3. Now I need a 2 there. Too bad I haven't got Tony Gin yet, because that would have been perfect. For that sort of thing. Need 10,000 for level 5, 30,000 for level 6, and 100,000 for level 7. But 7 weeks to get 100,000 coins per second. But they're done. Which is good. You need the rum runner, which then keeps the speakeasies plentifully stocked. I shall deal with that later. But for now, I'm just going to come out of here. And then we'll do the next bit, which is going into PowerPoint. Because it's here where I do all my graphics. And I do all my other maths stuff as well, so I do the maths corner bits as well. Which reminds me I need to do the next few. But join me back in a bit as I take you through the analysis of my Chromebook and see how ChromeOS fares up with everything else. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the part where I now look at my Chromebook. And I've got ChromeOS. I'm running dev version 145. And I just wanted to have a look at something. So I want to test something different. And I've noticed also that if you have a look, these ones take you online. So these icons will put you online. And these ones, the further out ones, so for example, this icon will open up in a standalone file. And you'll be able to add your own document that way. You can even do your own template as well. Look at these. This would be interesting to look at. And then we'll go into slides. Let's see what the templates are here. The student certificate. Making presentations that stick. You can even do a party invite on that as well. Let's have a look at a new presentation. And you've got all these fonts here as well. I like the idea of that Lexin one. But I'm absolutely impressed by the fonts that we've got. I think you can even add more to them as well. I do like using Comic Sans sometimes, but this is the one I was looking at. And then we'll just make that Lex Otto as well. Lexend. Okay. Right, well, I've got an update straight away. So I better come out of that. Pop that in the bin. There we go. Remove. And then hopefully we'll get... Yeah, there's the bin. But join me back in a bit, because I've got an update I need to take care of. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back as I've just updated my Chromebook. And now I'm just going to test out some apps. I'm also going to look in the Explore part. Just to see what we've got. I've already got YouTube Premium. I've got Pro video editing, so I can get that perk, £6.62. Which would be interesting. 25% off. But let's see what it says. Sorry about that. In fact, it says it's not eligible, but then says, sorry about that. In fact, you are eligible. And here is your promo code. That'll be interesting. So what I'm going to do at some point is I'm going to get some apps for my Chromebook. And then we'll see what it comes with. But I've got 2 terabytes I've got 2 terabytes on that, so it says I am eligible, but the promo code expired in 2024. It's probably because I already am a member of Google One. I'm not going to get rid of that because that's where all my videos are. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's where all my corner videos are. I get 3 months of photo editing, which I'm not going to do yet. Sorry, I've got something stuck in my tooth. If you're wondering what's going on. But then if I go back... Well, look at this. And then we've got Adobe Express as well. Apps already installed. So, if we have a look at Adobe Express, there it is. I think it's that where you do the videos. Something's come up. $9.98 a month. This will be interesting. Yeah, so you can add bits. I'm just going to start from scratch. But what I want to do is, yeah, you can upload something. And if I go into my stuff, no files. Let's come out of that. And have a look at, I've got the YouTube app open as well. It's good to know. And if I open up, because I set up my app, I set up my tabs. You get to see that as well. And I'll close it off. And there we go. Let's have a look at slides. That's what we're looking at. I haven't added anything yet, but I will start adding bits to it later on down the line. I like what I've seen here so far, but there will be more bits to come once I get it all set up with the proper apps that I need to. But join me back in a bit as I wrap up the video, and we'll be able to then I'll be able to give you my verdict as to what I think. See you in a bit, guys. And welcome back, guys. I just thought I'd quickly hop on just to not only end the video, but I just wanted to also give you my verdict on each of the systems. Now, I grew up with Windows, and I spent the last 12 years as a Mac head. And given by the nature that most of the laptops I've got in my flat are MacBooks or the older versions of it, I've got a PowerBook G3 from 1998, leading right up to the MacBook Pro from 2022. Got 18 of them. And I think for me, it was always going to be a clear winner that it was going to be a macOS. Excuse me. It was something that I've grown accustomed to over the last 12 years. At some point, within the next week or so, I will do something on Catalina, and then I'll also look at doing something on Mavericks as well, because of I've had my mid-2012 MacBook Pro for 12 years come next week even, and it's still holding very strong. Always surprises me how much longevity a MacBook has. But as soon as I saw that mid-2012, I knew I was either torn between that or the Air. But I knew as soon as I saw that, my mid-2012 MacBook Pro, I knew that it was something I was going to go for. And I know I'm still with it 12 years later. And I'm still going to continue mainly focusing on macOS because I'm mainly a Mac head. But there are other shows that require Windows, and there are other shows that I've got planned with the Chromebook as well. I just want to make sure that I can get all the apps I possibly can. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.